What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the Xfinity Series race breakdown for Las Vegas here on Draftkings. We'll just dive right in. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, @Natelyn_. Starting out with Sam Mayer here. He's $8,600 starting ninth. I mean, he just doesn't really have much of a ceiling to go up anywhere, so I don't really know how interested I'm going to be in Sam Mayer today. I mean, his two races at Kansas last year didn't do well. Average running position at 10th, and I think he wrecked at Vegas. Didn't have any lap sled or fast laps, so I don't really expect much from Sam Mayer here. Sheldon Creed, starting 8th, is similar play to Mayer in my opinion. There's just really no ceiling here. They don't start far enough back at that price for me to really be interested in them. Then you move on to Bailey Curry, number 4 car for JD Motorsports, starting 27th today. There's some decent value plays on the slate today, but I mean, Bailey Curry's okay. I just don't really expect him to move up that much. I mean, we go look at his team stats. Average finish 22.3 at Vegas, 23.4 at Kansas, which is fine. It's better than where he started. It's not going to be enough for you on DraftKings here. Matt Mills starts 19 with $5,100. Just starts too high. I'm not going to be interested in going into that. Ryan Vargas is a similar play to Bailey Curry, but Bailey Curry is a much better driver than Ryan Vargas, so I really don't want to play Ryan Vargas at all. I do like Allgaier. I mean, I think it's going to be popular if you're playing cash. You should probably play Justin Allgaier. He starts far in the back. Starts 16th. He's $10,400. Last year at Vegas and Kansas. Those are races I'm comparing Las Vegas to as Kansas. Those are races I'm looking at, those three. So he had a average running position of 9th at first Vegas, 4th at the second Vegas, and then 7th at Kansas. When you look at lap sled, he led 4 laps at the first Vegas race and 90 at the second Las Vegas race, and he had 36 fast laps at the second Las Vegas race. So Allgaier's a threat to win this race. I wouldn't call him like my top likely dominator here, but he's probably coming around 4th or 5th most likely to dominate in this race. So if you want to go get Justin Allgaier, I think that's a good play, but he's a good place differential play too. So I do like Allgaier. Josh Berry starts 2nd, and he won the most recent time we were here. Average position of 15 at the first Vegas race last year and 7th at the second Vegas race, and he did not race at Kansas last year. And then 38 laps led at the second Las Vegas race and 29 fast laps as well, as he did win that race. So if you want to get Josh Berry, I don't think a lot of people are going to be going to him. People are going to rather play your Noah Gragsons, your Ty Gibbs, your AJ Allmendingers, maybe even your Hemricks before Josh Berry. But I mean, Josh Berry, the last time we were here at this track, he won the race and he led a lot of laps, so I would not be surprised to see him do it again. I like Josh Berry. Noah Gragson is going to be interesting because he honestly has never really been that good here. This is his home track, starting 4th. Average positions of 8, 8, and 7 at those 3 races last year. Only led laps in 2 of them, and it was a combined 10 laps. And really didn't have many fast laps either. But he was really fast in practice yesterday. He was the fastest car by far. Qualified 4th. Looks like he has a fast car. He's motivated. And this seems like it might be the Noah Gragson year, to be completely honest. Great start to the season. This is the year he should break out. A win's coming real soon for him. I would not be surprised to see it happen here today. His odds reflect that he's tied it for the favorite Ty Gibbs right now, so I like Noah Gragson. I know he hasn't done well here in the past, but he's looked really fast this week, and he just seems like he's more confident and more consistent, better driver this year, so would not be surprised to see him do really, really well here. Landon Castle at $9,000, starting 5th. I mean, it just doesn't really have a ceiling. I don't see him leading laps, so I'm not really going to be too interested in here. Daniel Hemrick, 9,900, starting 6th. The Collet cars weren't so fast yesterday in practice, but Hemrick was great here last year. Average positions of 2, 7, and 6. He led 74 laps at the first Vegas race and 15 at Kansas. 37 fast laps at the first Vegas race last year. 9 to second and 5 at Kansas. So, yeah, Hemrick was really good at this track and these type of tracks last year. I'm completely fine going to get Daniel Hemrick here as a dominator. I don't think he'll be too highly owned. I think AJ Allmendinger probably gets most ownership again. It didn't work for us last week at Fontana. But again, really good at this track in Kansas last year. Average positions of 3, 5, and 5. Led 44 laps at Vegas, 10 at Kansas, and 20 at the second Vegas race. When you look at fast laps, he had 32 at Las Vegas, 9 at Kansas, and 17 at Vegas 2. He would probably be my pick to be the dominator again. I know it didn't work out last week, but I really like what we're seeing from AJ Allmendinger at these types of tracks in the past. He wasn't really fast in practice today, but he did have the best qualifying lap, so we'll see where that leads. I would lean AJ Allmendinger right now is probably my favorite to dominate. He's definitely the top 3. Moving on to Ryan Truex in driving a JGR car. Ryan Truex has been in good equipment in the past and has not done so hot in them, so I don't really know how excited we need to be about Truex here. He starts 7th. He doesn't really have much of a ceiling for DraftKings anyway. Going to Brandon Jones, starting 19th, $9,500. Or I'm sorry, he's in the 19 car. Starts 21st. I like Brandon Jones. I mean, he obviously a lot of place differential, 9,500, a good cash play. Third best or average position of 3 last year at Vegas. He led 28 laps too, and had 10 fast laps. Didn't really run as well the last 2 of the year. 11th, average position of 11 at Kansas and 9 at Las Vegas too. If you want to go get Brandon Jones, his cash play, I think that's a really good play. He should definitely get top 10, compete for a top 5. So like that. Austin Hill starts 15th, 8,200. We didn't really get to see what Austin Hill was going to look like at a non-plate race last week because he got wrecked out like 10 laps in. So that'll be interesting. But starting 15th, he's got a little bit of place differential upside. He should be a top 10 contender. I don't mind going there. Anthony Alfredo starting 25th in the Hour Motorsports car. Ran pretty well last week. Almost won that race with the whole tire thing at the end. I was stressing because of my Cole Custer bet. But, it worked out. So, but starting 25th, you obviously do a lot of place differential at $7,800. I like that. Hour Motorsports is a top 15 to 20 equipment. I think that's where Alfredo will run. We could see him get a top 10 if there's a lot of wrecks, or maybe he'll drive himself up in there. It wouldn't be that shocking. John Hunter Nemechek. So last year he drove the Sam Hunt Racing equipment, which is like a good Toyota team, but it's not JGR equipment. He ran at Dover, and he was running like top 10 all day, and I think he blew an engine or something like that. He didn't finish the race. And then when we saw him in the JGR number 54, he went out and won at Texas, I think it was. Texas? Yeah, it was Texas. So I don't really expect him to go out and win like that because not that great of equipment, but, John Hunter Nemechek should run top 10. But that being said, he starts 10th, $9,200. I don't know if I want to pay for that on DraftKings today. Jeb Burton's going to be the stone cold chalk today because he wrecked in qualifying. He starts dead last. The one thing I will say about Jeb Burton today is that they did not have a backup car, so they had to repair that whole car. I don't know how great of repairs they made, but the damage didn't look like devastating. Like they should have been able to fix that. But I would go check. I don't know yet, but closer to the race we will know. So I would go make sure to know that Jeb Burton's car is like good, because if it's not, he's not going to do anything. So, but if it is, yeah, starting $7,500, best. He's the easiest play on the slate. So I like Jeb Burton. CJ McLaughlin starting 31st. This is a good play. I mean, he's in a good equipment. RSS Racing. However, CJ McLaughlin's never lit the world on fire, but this is good equipment. He starts 31st and he's $4,600. So I really like going there. I'm completely fine getting some CJ McLaughlin today. He's the best value play on the slate, in my opinion. He'll probably be owned, but all these other guys below 5K kind of are not good plays. So I'm completely cool going to CJ McLaughlin. Mike Schneider. Like last week, we saw that 31 car. It's fine. Like, it's good equipment, but Mike Schneider really isn't the best driver in the world. Starts 34th. I think he's going to be really highly owned again. I don't really want to go there. Jesse Iwuji's on the other guys under 5K, and just you can't convince me to play him over CJ McLaughlin no matter what. So we will not be going there. Joey Gase. $5,300 starting 36. I think he's okay. He's better played than Iwuji, but still, I like McLaughlin better for cheaper, so I'm probably going to go there. But if you want to play Joey Gase, I don't think it's the worst play in the world, but probably still wouldn't want to get too much of that. Alex LeBay starting 17th, $6,300. I don't think he has a ceiling, so I'm not going to be interested. Kyle Sieg's too expensive for Kyle Sieg. He's a fine driver, don't get me wrong, but it's too expensive. He probably runs around there all day, to be completely honest. Like, if we're playing RSS Racing cars, I'd just rather play CJ McLaughlin for like $2,000 less. So I'm not going to be there. Ryan Sieg's okay, though. $7,200 starting 20th. He could definitely compete for a top 10, but probably gets a top 15 this race. And, it's pretty good value at $7,200. He has a little bit more upside, and he probably won't be too highly owned. So I'm completely fine going to Ryan Sieg here. Ryan Ellis has never really been a driver that we love that much, but this Alpha Prime Racing team seems to be like better than all the other backmarkers. Like, they seem to be a little bit better, and they're more of a mid-tier team. So if you want to go to Ryan Ellis starting 35th, I'm fine with that. But, I'd rather play Kaz Grala. He's a better driver. He's proved himself more. But he's still a little bit expensive, starting 23rd, and not the best of equipment. But I could see him getting up a top 15 there. And if he gets a top 15, that's going to be a really good play. So I am completely okay going to Kaz Grala. Brennan Pruitt's not in the race. Jay Buford, a guy that I want to keep on watching, but he did not run well at Kansas and Vegas last year at all. But starting 14th, he has top 10 upside. Like I said, this is a RCR Alliance team. This is a team I'm high on this year. I just want to qualify a little bit worse. But still, starting 14th, I don't think anyone's going to play him. So he may be a good leverage play because he could definitely get a top 10 in this race. I know his numbers didn't show it last year, but that upside is certainly there. Jeremy Clements starting 12th, $7,000. I'm not going to be too interested. Ty Gibbs is going to get a ton of ownership. He starts 11th. He won the second Vegas race. Or, no, he won Kansas last year, my bad. Led 33 laps in that race. Or led 14 laps, had 33 fast laps. average position at 4 and 5 at the Kansas and Vegas. He's going to be a threat. He's definitely one of the top 3 guys likely to lead laps. Like for me, the top 3 dominators are going to be Gibbs, Gragson, Allmendinger. And that's probably what's going to be all year. Pretty much every single race, we're going to say, yeah, Gibbs, Gragson, Allgaier are going to be the guys. I think you can throw Hemrick, or what did I say? Gibbs, Gragson, and Allmendinger. I think I said Allgaier. Those are going to be the 3 guys, but I think you can throw Hemrick and Justin Allgaier in there and Josh Berry as possible dominators, but those 3 are going to be the most likely ones in my opinion. Gibbs also offers you place differential, really great cash play. I think it's going to be, if you can fit both him and Allgaier in, I think that's the way to go, but if you can't, I think it's tough not to go with Ty Gibbs here. So I really do like Ty Gibbs today. Probably wins the race. He's tied for the favorite with Noah Gragson in this race, so completely fine going there. J.J. Ailey, I like J.J. Ailey here, $6,600 starting 30th. We always see him run well, run better than his equipment when he's in these MEM cars. $6,600 isn't too much to pay for him. Starts 30th. He could definitely contend for a top 20, but probably finishes about like 23rd. And I'm completely okay with that. Brandon Brown starting 18th at $7,600. I'm just saying there's better plays in that price range, but I don't mind Brandon Brown. He's not going to be owned. He could definitely compete for a top 10, but it seems a little bit unlikely. Josh Williams does not qualify. Mason Massey starts 32nd at $5,000. He like ruined our week last week when he wrecked out like 10 laps in, so that was unfortunate. I don't know, it might have been a little longer than that, but he wrecked pretty early in that race, and that sucked for us. But I'm okay going back to it. You know, a lot of these other cheap plays are not good. Mason Massey and CJ McLaughlin are probably your 2 really cheap plays I want to go to, starting 32nd in DGM equipment. I mean, it's not that bad. Average finish of 24 at Vegas and 23 at Kansas. If you want to go there, I don't mind it. Kyle Weatherman starts too high up for me to want to play him. Riley Herbst also. I mean, it's just not playing. Riley Herbst starting 3rd no matter where we are. That's just not going to happen. Stephen Parsons starting 29th. 5,600. I just would rather pay down a little bit for Mason Massey or CJ McLaughlin, but I don't mind Parsons here. Brett Moffitt starts 13th, and that's probably where he runs all day. I mean, look at his numbers last year. It's probably where he's going to run all day, so I don't really need to get there. Joe Graf Jr. is going to be interesting. I wonder how his ownership is going to come in, because I've heard so many people talking about Joe Graf this week, and I mean for good reason. This car he's in is not a normal SS Greenlight racing car. So in the Xfinity series, you have to, in this West Coast swing, I don't know why this is a rule, but this is the rule that is that you have to use the same car for all the races. So they had to use the same car as last weekend. So this is the same car that Cole Custer won in last week. It's a Stewart Haas racing car. That being said, it's Joe Graf Jr. We've seen Joe Graf Jr. in good equipment before. Joe Graf Jr. ran Richard Childress Racing a long time ago, and he was awful. Terrible. So, if Joe Graf Jr. is going to get ownership today, I don't care if he's in a Stewart Haas racing car. It's Joe Graf Jr. I'm fading. If you want to go there, I get it. He's in a really good car. He's in a top 10 car today, for sure, but it is still Joe Graf Jr., and he's probably going to get ownership today. I don't want to play Joe Graf Jr. with ownership. So, that's how I'm looking at this race. David's starting to qualify, so that's how I'm looking at this race. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, either leave them below, but I may not see those today. So if you really have any questions, go follow my Twitter, NateLane_, and you can DM me or just ask me in there. I will answer them there because I'll probably be active on Twitter today. So, but thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and good luck and have a great rest of your day.